My first glow-powered free flight was a half-A Viking. I didn't build it, a friend of mine did, and he gave it to me. I put on it a worn-out Baby 049 engine and flew it several times. With the low power, it flew just fine, and I had no crashes. But I remember one time I flew it in this park that was way too small, and it landed on the roof of someone's garage. I went to their house and asked if I could borrow a ladder to get it back. A couple of years ago, I had purchased a Jetco Lark kit from someone, and they said they had 2 Viking kits with 1 set of plans and a half-A Blazer, so I purchased them. I decided this winter I was going to build the half-A Viking. I have heard people that said that this is a terrible airplane and it crashes, and other people that really like it. So I decided to take this on as a challenge and see what my results would be and document them. I have the construction done and some of the covering done, but I need to wait till warmer weather to use dope on the plane. The Viking seems like a really large airplane for a 049 engine with 48-inch wingspan. It looks very similar to the Blazer kit, but that had a 40-inch wingspan and a single spar through the wing. Wing construction is not very rigid compared to newer designs, and that's why I'm going to use the Mylar with tissue over that to hope to make it stiffer. Carl Goldberg is very famous in the model aviation industry and won many contests and had some very famous designs. I found it interesting reading about Carl Goldberg on the AMA website and other sources. He designed many famous model airplanes, free flight, control line, and radio control, and I've had a few of them over the years. Some of Carl's designs are very intricate and very difficult and time-consuming to build, such as this Valkyrie that appears in the International Modeling Museum in Muncie, Indiana. A friend of mine built this Goldberg sailplane, but he added radio control to it and flew it many times. The first model airplane I can remember building was the Goldberg Stuntman 23. I built a modern laser cut version of this and been flying electric power very successfully this year. I also fixed up a Goldberg Buster I had from my childhood and have been flying it very successfully this year. And I also have a Gentle Lady 2-meter RC sailplane that I've flown quite a bit, but now it's been sitting for a while. Building the half-A Viking is not really the simplest kit. I'm really amazed my friend, who was maybe 12 years old at the time, built one, and it looked really good, but he was really good at building, better than I was at that age. The plans are pretty good, but there's no instruction booklet that comes with many of the modern kits. In some places the printing is really tiny, and you're going to have to look very closely about how some things are done. Here are the half-A Blazer plans, and you can see how similar the designs are. The wood really appeared to be pretty good. Of course, it's die cut, but you can see here how the fuselage, the pieces interlock. The heavy wood in the kit was used for the wing spars and the wing tips and stab tips, and of course that should be harder wood. The plans had many detailed drawings that you don't usually see in more modern kits, but in modern kits usually you'll have pictures in an instruction booklet instead. The details for the wing dihedral were in this section of the plans in really tiny print, so you had to look real close to find this. Now this is the really tough part about building this kit, and something that Carl Goldberg did in many designs, even radio control airplanes, in that he had the spars go through the center of the rib. I thought maybe he did that to make it harder to build from a set of plans, because you had to cut out this rectangular shape in the middle of a rib. But other people said no, that was the idea, that it made for a smoother airflow if you didn't have a spar exposed to the outer edges of the airfoil. When building, you have to be so careful pushing the spars through these square cutouts, and the spars were tapered, which made it tougher yet, and I fitted them so carefully but still ended up breaking a few. You can see in the stab that the spar was also swept forward, which further complicated things when, well, here you can see the wing panels and the stab. I did get through it somehow. You can see here an example of the Junior Falcon that also used the spars going through the center of the ribs, and I don't know why. Here are some miscellaneous photos of the construction at different stages. The plans show a total weight of 9 ounces, but I'm sure mine is going to be heavier than that. But I just want to make sure that the wing is really stiff because I think that's an issue. My plan is to power it with a TD-049, which was shown on the plans. It also showed a Holland Hornet, which I had never even heard of until seeing these plans, but I have one now. I covered the wing with Mylar, and then later I will use dope to attach tissue to it to make it really rigid. I'm using the Mount Fuji tissue, which is heavier than the Saki, but it's supposed to be stronger in torsion. Well, look for more videos when I try to fly the Viking and see what my results will be. Thanks for watching.